share because I forgot last time. Okay, share screen. And someone
I thought I was recording already, but I guess I wasn't, so thank you for saying that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You'll have to let me know if you can see my screen because I don't really know once it goes to share screen, I don't know if y'all can see that. Maybe I should put it in.
We can see it.
Does it need to be bigger in like presentation mode or?
If you want to, it's up to you.
Okay, let me see. Okay, can y'all see that? I can't see anybody, so someone tell me.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so the fifth vital behavior. And what is that fifth vital behavior? Well, I call it connecting to your tribe. And it's something that I feel like I've done a pretty good job of doing as far as like attraction marketing and social media. So it's something I try to teach early on to my team, and I will share it with you guys. So the 4 vital behaviors, we obviously know what those are, and if you don't, you should, so get on it. The be a product of the product, inviting, connecting, talking to people, whatever you want to call it. I tend to call it relationship building or just talking to more people. Personal development and recognition, and they're all important, right? So that 5th vital behavior is what I call connecting to your tribe. And why is it one of the most important? Because all the others are the vitals, and they're just that. They're vital. You're going to do them regardless of, you're going to do them if you're here to grow your business, which if you're on this call, you probably are. It just kind of comes as a natural thing, right, to do your vitals. But when you do them with your tribe, and for those people that are your tribe and you want to be on your team, it's a complete game changer for your business, okay? So let's talk about how the vitals can go wrong and not be towards your tribe so that you know like what not to do versus what I'm going to tell you later on, like kind of how you can do it. So when looking at a product of the product, that means that if you're doing it the wrong way, you're probably promoting in the wrong places. You're probably spinning your wheels or chasing people, that follow-up that's like the 6th, the 7th, the 8th follow-up, and they're still not responding to you. Or you're just talking to all the wrong people. And with your tribe, you won't chase. You'll attract to your tribe, and people will come to you. And that's really like up until probably, I don't know, last year, that's kind of how my business has grown. Like people come to me. I didn't really have to message a lot of people and go on this big messaging blitz. Like I was putting out there my story and my journey and attracting my tribe to me. So they were coming to me asking to join my team, asking to join my challenge groups. If you look at the invite, do you ever feel like that icky salesman? I know I have for sure. And if you're raising your hand, then I am too. Because that's what I don't ever want to feel like, and I don't ever want my coaches, especially my new coaches, to feel that way at all. Or maybe you feel like you've just got to hit your goals. It's the last of the month. I know we just started a new month, so the very end of May, you might have been feeling like, it's the end of the month. I got to copy and paste the script and message as many people as I can because I need those points or I need that goal or whatever. And that's something that when you're doing it right, you probably won't feel that way. And or that people don't want to be sold to. They want to know that you care first. So when you're doing these invites and you're just going after that sale, I'm sure you've heard that over and over again, that they don't want that. That's not why they're looking at you, and you don't want people looking at you for that anyways. And when you're inviting with your tribe, you're just getting to know people and telling them your story. You're just like talking to them like they're a friend. And that's how I treat every conversation that I have on Facebook. It's like, I'm just a mom and I have struggles too. I'm not perfect and I just want to connect. Like I really try to ask them more questions than tell them about myself, so that I can get to know them and I can be like, yeah, I totally had that problem. Or yes, I can connect with them just as much as I want them to connect with me. And I will say that's where I spend a lot of my time in the invite and the messaging phase of my business or stage of my business. But it's because I know this is a people business. I know that I want my business to be about the people, not about the sale, not about the points, not about even the ranks and the goals. Because I feel like if I'm focusing on the people and the conversations and getting to know them, that everything else will follow. So I spend a lot of time here and building relationships. That's why I call that invite vital the relationship vital. Personal development is your audience as driven and as excited as you are. I hear so often from a lot of my leader coaches that I can't find anybody like me. I can't find, none of my coaches are as motivated as I am. Well, misery loves company, and so does mediocrity. So when you kind of surround yourself around, I call it the fives or the sixes of people, then that's kind of what you tend to attract. But when you surround yourself around tens and nines and people that are those, I don't know, better than you people, I like to call my mastermind group that, because I feel like they're all, these amazing people that have amazing ideas and structures and businesses, and, just they're awesome. You tend to be better, right? So we're all going to get pushed back in all the time in our business. I still get it in my business. I hear no's every day. And just because you know people like in your network doesn't mean that they're into what you're doing. And this is really hitting home to like new coaches that are getting started, that just because you're into it doesn't mean that they are. Just because you're friends on Facebook doesn't mean that they want to do this with you. And so you don't try to motivate people. And this is a leader talking to my leaders, that you can't motivate people. Don't try to motivate people. Find motivated people. So when you're talking about your personal development, or talk more about your personal development, about what you're struggling and overcoming, and people are going to relate to that instead of the what's drawing you back, what's holding you back. If you're talking about how you're getting better and you're surrounding yourself with better people, then that's what people are going to be attracted to. And so find motivated people and read that all over, 100 times again. That are your posts trying to motivate people, or are you speaking to motivated people? Because there's a difference in that, and it weighs heavily, like whichever side you choose to go on. If you're going to motivate people, it's like dragging horses, that don't want to go where they want to go. They're very strong animals, and they will totally knock you on your butt. But if you're speaking to the motivated people, then that's your crowd, that's your tribe, that's who are going to want to be like you. So you want to know what the secret sauce is to finding your business, and that's it. So I tell my leaders that all the time, that you just got to talk to the motivated people. So when you're speaking to your tribe, those that want to build with you, it's called bringing each other up instead of, misery loving company. And then recognition is feeling inauthentic. And if you've ever felt that way, there's probably a reason why. And I have an example. If you have two people that accomplish the exact same thing, let's say they both lose 15 pounds in your challenge group, your 30-day challenge. One is your best friend, and the other maybe just purchased from you, but you have nothing in common. You really don't know anything about them. You hardly know them. Who are you going to be more excited for? Your best friend, right? And so that's a prime example of, the recognition side of, attracting your tribe, because you're going to be more excited for these people that are your friends, that are like you, that, you share all these commonalities and you love spending time together. Like the girls on my team, I cannot wait for Summit. I had so much fun in Punta Cana with them. They were, the majority of them that were there, because I love hanging out with them, like friends first, right? Like they're amazing business partners and teammates, but they're my friends, and our kids play together. And I mean, it's my tribe. So you'll have a lot more authenticity behind your recognition too when you're attracting to your tribe. So how do you apply that fifth vital behavior? There is a brand training out there by Katie Hefner, so I give her full credit for this, but it's basically creating an avatar, creating my avatar, who, call it Shelly, call it Stacy, whatever, whoever you want it to be, but it is the person that you're talking to that's just like you every single day. And so you start your day just like you start your day with personal development or a miracle morning or a workout, whatever. You start your day with that person in your head, and like that's who I'm talking to every single day. So for Katie, it was Caitlin, and she lists every single thing that this person, Caitlin, is that's like Katie. So I would list everything, like they're a mom, they were once in corporate America, they had knee surgery 2 years ago, they blah, 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 all these things that they have very common to me. And I speak to them as if they're one of my friends. So you create an avatar, who they are and who you're trying to actually attract, where they are in life, and specific location, because you can't be everything to everyone. You're not Beachbody, and I'm sure you hear that over and over again. You're one person. You are you, and so you have to speak to that one person every single day. And how do you speak to them? And only them. So sharing bits and pieces of your story to connect to them. And I hear this so often that people are like, okay, I've shared my story. I've already shared my story. Like, I have nothing else to say. No, you haven't. Like, you have to share your story over and over and over and over again. And I learned this the hard way because I came into this with like no story. Like, nobody would ever want to hear my story. And I apologize. I didn't even like tell you guys my story. I can do that now if you want, but again, I don't even want to because I didn't have a story. Like, I came into this as the collegiate athlete that had amazing abs and then had a baby and never gained the freshman 15. Like, I was a fitness freak and I loved fitness, and that's why I thought Beachbody would be an amazing thing because I wanted to work out all the time. But then I had a baby and I had to get my body back, and so it was a perfect, fit for me to work on my fitness and get my body back. And I did. And it wasn't until 3 years ago that my why and like my true story really evolved. And so your story can change, your story can grow with you through this business, but it's sharing the bits and pieces of it all the time. And it doesn't have to be one big post of like, here's my story, and it's like the post of the day. It's sharing tidbits here and there and all the time. So you really have to get uncomfortable and share your vulnerabilities. And that means, nothing if you aren't making those stories relate to your audience, to your Katie, to your Stacy, whoever your avatar is, because you need to be their guide through what you've already experienced. So you're using words and phrases like, I've been there, I was her, I know how you feel, the feel, felt, found. And so I talk a lot about losing a parent. I lost my dad 2 years ago, and that's part of my why. I talk about retiring my husband and moving back home to Texas to be with family, like family and dream home, and those things are now what's driving the driving force in my business. But I also talk about postpartum C-section and breastfeeding, because that's the phase of life that I'm in right now. I talk about travel. I talk about being a college athlete because it's a part of my story. So you breadcrumb your story in all of your posts, like all the time. So it's not just one and done. And use Facebook as your platform. And I say that because I'm sharing what's working for me. I do not use Instagram. I have an account, and if you follow me, you can see that I'm very inconsistent over there. That's the one place I'm inconsistent in my business is on Instagram, because I just don't know how to use it and I don't have the time to learn it. So I use Facebook, and I use that because Beachbody is such a visual and social company. From seeing results like physical transformations to the mindset transformations to the non-scale victories to the community and the field, the team pages, you get it. I mean, it's such a social and visual company, and Facebook is a perfect platform for that. And specifically my Light page, it's one that I have been very consistent on since the very beginning when I started it, learning about it, investing in it, running ads, showing up on it every single day. On the weekends, for example, if I don't post, if I just run out of time, I make sure that is the first place that I have content every single day. And I know Marissa has a very strong Light page too, so I'm sure she has a lot of good tips for that. But storytelling is key on social media, and we have a million stories to share. So stop sharing the same one over and over again, or stop feeling like you've already shared enough of your story, and find the different angles that you can, break it up and breadcrumb it, like I said, because you have to be speaking to your target audience every single day. So reason why I talk about Like pages versus personal pages is because you are capped out on friends. And so for newer coaches, this probably doesn't really affect them as much. But for someone like me that's been around for 5 years, I'm slowly approaching that 5,000 cutoff where I can't accept friends anymore. And that means, expanding my network is going to get a lot harder. So like page, you have limitless fans. You can talk to as many people as you want. You can send messages to people that are liking and engaging on your content. But the second reason is because it's against Facebook terms of service to run a business on a personal page. So you have to be really, 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 really careful about what you're saying on your personal pages. Like making sales, making transactions, just really, who knows? No one knows what Facebook will shut you down for running a business on your personal page. And I'm not saying that to scare anyone. I like to just share what I've learned through my trainings with Facebook pages and stuff. But you can see here that you can get really targeted with your audience. Back when I was pregnant and breastfeeding, I was targeting pregnancy and newborn magazine pages and maternity clothes and breastfeeding pages that were really honing in on my niche, my target. So I was posting about that kind of stuff, and I was targeting those type of people, those type of women per se, because like pages are built to help you grow your target audiences and show you where people hang out and what kind of shows they're watching and things that they're doing that's like you, like that avatar that I was talking about. And then these insights over here, they do the hard work for you. They track what posts are doing really good for you, and stuff that's not even been paid reach, if you understand what that even is, that I'm not paying spending money for Facebook to promote my stuff for me. It's doing it organically because I'm so targeted on who I'm showing my stuff to, because I've honed in on that fifth vital behavior. So just something to think about if you don't have a like page and maybe you want to start one, or if you have one and maybe you want to invest, it's a good idea in my eyes, because you can make what they call these swipe files and reuse content. I reuse content all the time. So work smarter, not harder. I think that was the next post. Okay, so I wanted to go through now, like, what to do and some good examples of how to put that fifth vital behavior into play with the other four vital behaviors. So when you're talking to your tribe and you've kind of honed in on, who that is and what they're about, then you have to start posting about it.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's hilarious because you have examples, product of the product, Stephanie Catherine Fitness, Mystery Success Club 60. She's one of the coaches on my team.
Yay! How cool.
She's on this call too.
Well, she is a rock star.
Yeah. She had a video go viral, and she literally just her page blew up, and ever since then she's been rocking it out. So that's funny.
That's
anyway,
awesome.
Sorry to interrupt. So
she's Sarcastic Fitness Mama?
No, she's the Stephanie Catherine Fitness.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. She's on the next page. Okay. So Sarcastic Mama or Fitness Mama, she's just that. She's hilarious. And if you read any of her posts, humor is like her thing. And so that's how she's using what she's all about to attract her tribe. She is funny, hilarious, and uses humor to her favor. So, this is just a random post that I found that I thought was funny, and it got a lot of engagement and people cheering her on. Kind of, she had that upswing with it, and utilizing her humor. This is one of my coaches, Megan Zernicki Fitness, and she is a mom of 3. Just had a baby, just like myself. Works out at home, but used to be the gym goer, like, all the time. And so she really does a good job of showing, that these workouts work from home. Her husband does them with them. They're in their home gym. And I love that she doesn't name drop either. And I'll get into that one with Lori Stewart too, but she never name drops what she's doing. So it kind of just leaves the imagination wondering what she's doing. But a lot of her posts do talk about, having kids and how to fit in fitness with kids. And so she's really honed in on her market as well. And then Lori Stewart talks a lot about the supplements that she's using, being a person at home that, needs that extra workout, or needs that extra caffeine, but doesn't want the nasty stuff in her body, that she's a busy mom, and how the 2 scoops a day help her get through her busy day. And then, hey, this is what I use on my bikini boot camp group, whatever. So you can read, her post and check her out. But name dropping is a big one. I don't name drop in my program or my posts because I want people to ask what I'm doing. I want people to, that are relating to me as my tribe to question what it is that I'm doing and have questions. The only time I have done that is because I'm in the Shift Shop test group, and so I'm promoting it by saying that it is the Shift Shop, but otherwise I don't do that. So if you're going to my page and checking it out, you will see that. Okay, and then Stephanie with What's in My Cup, More Than You Know, this is a great post about Shakeology and how, she's targeting. I mean, I don't know if she appears to be an athlete of some kind, but she's talking to like who this is for. And so this was something that caught my eye because I was a college athlete, and I'm like, oh, that's a great way to promote a product to my tribe who is, post-college athletes or former college athletes that might be moms that have kind of lost themselves and want to get their body back. And why not talk about Shakeology in that regard? So I loved this post for that reason. So that was a really good job. Let's see. Inviting. So I use a lot of video to invite because video is hot right now on Facebook. Whether you're on your personal page or your like page, going live and recording videos is huge. So I use it to my advantage. Plus, it's just a great way for people to see my life in a little quick snippet, how I fit in my workouts with a baby at home. And I still have results. And so that really talks to my target audience, busy moms that are at home with a new baby trying to get their body back. So I use it to invite to free groups because, again, it's on my like page. It's going to open up, a whole new arena for new people. It expands my network. And then I also use it to invite to coaching events and to tell a story, though, as well. So if you go to my page and look at any of my videos, it's not just, here was my workout today, yada, yada. It's, here was my workout today, and I feel you, mamas. It is hard to fit it in. I am home with my kids. I get caught up in the laundry. It's, with coaching, it was like adding one more thing to my plate, blah, 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 blah. I juggle a lot of things. So I'm sharing a breadcrumb of my story with people through my videos, which is high traction in Facebook world because of it being a video, and it's going to what she just said kind of go viral, if you will. It's going to connect to people that see fitness as a hurdle to get into their day with a baby on their hip. So use video, figure out how you can use it to fit it into what you're currently, what your story is, and how you can utilize that to talk to people that are like you, your avatar, whether it's fitness or maybe it's recipes and how you're cooking and meal prepping on the weekends with your family, or maybe it's how you take your workouts outside, or maybe it's, I don't know, there's a lot of ways that you can do video. Workouts just happen to be my thing. So that's how I use it to invite and really get kind of hone in on my tribe, my fifth thought of behavior. And then Jessie Burr is another good example. She's a success partner of one of my coaches on our team in New Orleans, and she's done amazing things with her page and her growth as a coach. Oh, here's some more inviting. So let me get through me first, I guess. I also use it. I also use inviting to do free stuff, like free giveaways. I did a free Good Friday giveaway because everybody loves something for free, and I can't remember what I posted and like what you have to enter, but I think it was, tell me why you want to get your body back after the baby. So it was really honed into my target audience. And then this one was just a short and sweet, like very specific. I'm looking for 5 busy moms that want to lose 5 to 10 pounds. So you could do this with, I'm looking for 4 college students that are, if college students are your tribe, or whatever kind of busy mom that it is. And I even went in, if you see more on that post, I even went into everyone has their method, and some people are gym rats and some people are CrossFitters, because that was me. I was a gym rat. I would have done CrossFit if I had given it a chance before kids. Some people do group fitness classes, and so I kind of went into, again, targeting my folks, my peeps. Okay, here's Jessie Bird. And so she does a great job too of just offering value. That's part of connecting to a tribe, being that fifth vital behavior. How can you offer value? And maybe that is through a squat challenge. Maybe that's through recipes and free 12 days of fitness free recipes. Maybe it is giveaways. Maybe it's how to get your mind right, free, whatever the free group is. Like, free groups have been huge for my success, and then duplicating that to my team, because that's how you connect with people that are, or I should say, the ones that stick around are the ones that are going to connect with you. Just like the ones that stick to the challenge groups and to the products and to the programs and to Shakeology are the best coaches, because they're going to stick around. So if you can get people, put it out there to, I kind of, the funnel, right? Put it out there to everybody, and then let them join your free group, and then you coach them in the free group, and then those that stick around join your challenge group, and then those that are in your challenge group, well, now you've weeded out those people that aren't like you and are more like you, and then you can build those relationships even further to be part of your tribe, okay? At least that's how I've done it. Personal development. This is one from My Think Fit, and Natalie is, I think her name's Natalie. And I love her because she's faith-based, and I love faith-based stuff. And it's her personal development. So whether it's a Christian book that she's reading, or a what's that called when you devotional that she has every morning, whatever it is, most of her personal development is faith-based. She shares it every day, and so she's very consistent with that. But that's her tribe. Like, that's a piece of her tribe, is having a faith-based team and a faith-based friendship and relationship with people. And so that's how she's drawing those people in, if you will. And so that's been a huge target for her, and it's worked for her. And she's so consistent with it. She does it every single day. She shares part of her daily devotional, or her takeaway from personal development. And I mean, she gets tons of comments on these posts, so it relates really well with what her mommy niche is. So personal development, find what that is. And I tell my coaches, you tend to read things that you like, that you're good at. Like, I tend to read like organization stuff and very systematic stuff, like things that are going to make me better at that. I don't tend to read the things that I suck at, like leadership, or I don't know, being a better role model, or whatever. You tend to not read those things. So do that, because that's what's going to surround you around those 10s, like I was saying, when you're always trying to get better. You can always get better at what you're good at, but it's really hard to get better at what you're not good at. And so, again, it doesn't have to be faith-based. You can find things that, are your niche and what you are good at to talk about through your personal development. Another part of the personal development side is going live and sharing live what you're reading and how you're overcoming it and what you're struggling with and what you're doing to get better with it. And these are two people. One is Megan Eggleston, my success partner, who's amazing, and Meg Wazinski, who is also an amazing top coach in the company. And nothing will build your brand better or quicker than going live and letting people see the real you, hear the real you, see your mannerisms, see your quirks, see you drop an F-bomb on camera, whatever. But that, and hear your, your true struggle. Like with Meg, it's her journey of Hashimoto's, and how her thyroid was out of whack, and it caused her to gain all this weight. And she couldn't figure it out, and she finally did, and now she's figured it out, and she's sharing that with people. And she talks about it all the time. So if you get stuck on, I've already told my story, people know I have Hashimoto's, people know I have a thyroid issue, or I did. So what? She tells it, like, she talks about it every single day. And it's probably not the same thing, but it's something about it, whether it's the meal plan, or what workout she's focusing on, or when she's drinking her shake, or whatever. So going live and sharing what you're struggling with and how you're getting better. Megan started out as a very shy, self-conscious, person, always caring what other people think. And through personal development, she's overcome that. She does not care at all now. She'll gladly get on live in the team pages and do live trainings for her team, and it just doesn't faze her at all. But she's had to work through that and share that. And so she's shared that part of her journey over and over again to get where she's at. And it's definitely connected her to other people that are shy, but they're connecting with her and they're part of her brand and target now. So going live is huge. Like I said, Facebook gives you priority when you have a live video or video on your page. Okay, and then recognition examples. One thing that's been working for me is sharing results. Not just my results, not just my challengers' results, but any kind of results. So yeah, my results have helped because it's my story. It's my page. It's people want to see me having the results. They could care less about other people, but it helps. It helps to have other people, proving this journey with us, right? So share your results. It's kind of like when we say don't use stock photos of insanity, to promote Sean Week, right? Use you to promote Sean Week. You go do that insanity workout and do a video and post it and say who wants to join me, for a week of crazy insane workouts. You be the transformation. You work on your transformation journey and share those results. And that's what's really worked for me. And granted, I had a pregnancy that helped me get through that, but I haven't always been working to get my body back as hard as I have right now. So that transformation part has been a struggle for me to share because people are like, the before looks just like the after. And so I've really had to start sharing other people's, results and my own challengers' results. But I've been very particular about how I do that because I want it to be moms. I want it to be women that have struggled with getting their body back after the baby or worked hard to get their body back after the baby. I also showcase the programs that I'm currently doing. So right now it's Shift Shop. Say that 5 times fast. Right now it is Shift Shop. So I'm sharing a lot of the transformations that the Shift Shop test group is having. It was Hammer and Chisel a while back, and I was sharing Hammer and Chisel. If you go to the pages of the programs, they have before and after pictures that you can share. And so then it's specific to the program that I'm doing. I'm talking about why I'm doing it and what I love about it and how these women are getting the same results. And it's helping. People like to see point A to point B. And in this business, when you're building that relationship, it takes time, but it also takes time to get the results. But people like to see that. They like to see things happening and people having results. So every week, whether it's Transformation Tuesday, Transformation Thursday, Woman Crush Wednesday, I'm sharing results. Or it's my own. Maybe it's my own, like, I don't know what day that would be, but Man Crush Monday. I mean, there's so many ways that you can share it. Okay. And then I'll celebrate my coaches. I share the results of my challengers too, and that's on the next page. I'll show you guys. But one thing that really helped me find those business building coaches and help grow my business and help grow the team, like not just my own coaches, but help grow our tribe, was sharing like about what my coaches were doing. And I don't do it enough. My team didn't do it enough. And I realized that when you put that out there, when you're celebrating your team and your tribe and these pretty smiley faces on a graphic, people want to be a part of it. They see that and they're like, wait, what? I want my picture up on a graphic like that. Or even just welcoming new coaches. I have a welcome new lady bosses graphic that goes out once a month that welcomes all the new coaches to the team, and it helps them because now they're getting recognized, but it also, so it puts, their face out in front of their friends, so it's help recruiting their friends into this tribe, but it also helps me and other moms see, oh wait, she does have this team, and it shows success. And so it's kind of doing like threefold here, but it shows that we're having success as a team. It's going to attract people that want success, like successful people, and it's also helping us recruit down the line. Like anyone that's on that graphic and it has a friend that sees it it's just gonna spread like wildfire. Okay. And then sharing the results of challengers too. So if you don't have those amazing results yourself, then obviously you should hopefully be getting them in your challenge groups. And anytime I see a challenger that's crushing it, I always ask, can I share these, please? Like, it's so inspiring, and people need to see this. And they're usually moms. That I've recruited and they've joined my group, and they're like, sure, it makes them excited. I cut their heads off and I put the dates on and I share it, and it goes viral, and it makes them feel so good. Like, this was Bianca, and oh my gosh, she felt so good. Like, I got such a lovey, hearty message back from her. But now her friends are going to see it. And so again, it's just that domino effect of that fifth vital behavior, attracting my tribe through my tribe. And then celebrating the challengers in a graphic like this, whether it's a free group or a challenge group, just putting them in. I mean, it takes 5 minutes to put them in a graphic like this on PicMonkey and shout them out and just say, I'm so excited for these women that are changing their lives. And that right there is screaming to other moms that want to change their lives or get their body back or whatever, to, join us and join the tribe. So, I'm feeling long-winded. So just some other tips when you are posting on Facebook that I've noticed when I'm trying to shout out to my tribe is the way you're spacing it. One big paragraph just doesn't look easy to read. People skip right over it. So add spaces, add hash marks, add dots. I think that's an Instagram thing, but kind of make it inviting for people to want to read on, captivate them in that first sentence, and hopefully their eyes will keep reading. I use a ton of emojis, and I feel like that really helps make it fun. That also helps attract, if you want fun people on your team, then it really helps attract the right reader. And I'm always asking questions at the beginning, at the middle, at the end, because as people are reading it, they're remembering, okay, she asked a question, and then I end up with a very similar question. So they always want to know what's in it for them. This or that, which one, help me choose, yada, yada. And just leaving you with this, nobody goes on Facebook saying, well, what am I going to buy today? They're going on to connect with people, to see what's going on in your life, to visually watch you. That's why you have to show up every single day and be consistent and share your story, share your journey, share your results, share everything. And I know it's very hard to do, at least for me in the beginning. It was really hard to just open up and be an open book and share everything. But people aren't going on to buy stuff. They're going on to build relationships. They're going on Facebook, or I guess Instagram for that matter, to get inspiration, to be inspired, to, find, to have healthy habits thrown at them, to learn, and to grow, and to maybe meet a new friend. So maybe you can be their new friend. So that's where storytelling becomes a big part of that journey, and growing towards your tribe. So any questions? And this was just a free Facebook training that we got sent to us from Jesse Reagan. He's a Facebook guru. He's amazing. And it just I think it kind of talks about the same stuff I've talked about, and just more tips on what Facebook's all about and how to kind of grow the best way that you can. So if anybody wants that, it's that one right there. But I haven't done it, so I don't really know what to say about it, but just something free for listening to me chat. But any questions, I'll stop sharing and I can open it up for questions or anything like that. I will say one other thing though. When you are doing all these posts, there's, you can't just post and run. I'm big on, like I said, engaging with who's on my page and my posts. So I am constantly messaging people that have liked it, messaging people that have commented it, tagging people back. That's where I build a lot of my connections, is through who's engaging on my stuff. So that's where tracking comes in. And I can definitely talk about how I do that in another call, because that's a big part of it. I see some chats.
I have a question. You talked earlier in the call about posting to motivating people versus posting to the motivated. So motivating versus, I don't know. You know what you talked about. Is it possible to give examples of a post, for newer coaches, a post that is motivating versus a post talking to the motivated? Do you have examples of that?
I don't, but that's a good point because I know it's kind of a confusing thing to understand. I don't, but I could find some, I'm sure.
Is there something that you like, because I think that's like a really good point. So I'd be curious, like, is there something that you can think of that would be a good example, just even talking about it for us to kind of get more of a visual of it?
Yeah, I'm gonna think about that. Can I come back to you? So I can
Yeah,
think about
sure.
it?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna think
Did you
about it.
take that from the I'm Here to Help group?
Christina Delgado.
Yeah. She posted it in the I'm Here to Help group, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, she did. But I feel like a lot of new coaches, at least mine, I shouldn't say a lot, I guess it's just mine. And that's kind of where this all stemmed from, was how I can better help my new coaches with not being afraid to talk to people that are like them, and share, bits and pieces of their story. Because when you're a new coach, it's so scary to open up and share, like, I guess they feel like they have to open up and share everything. So I was like, how can we breadcrumb it to, just talk to people like they're your friends, and you don't have to tell them, you don't have to spill the beans, you can breadcrumb it. And when I saw that from Christina, I'm like, that's perfect, because you don't motivate, if you're going to motivate people, you don't want to talk to them like you're trying to, maybe it's, you should inspire them rather than motivate them. Would that be a better analogy? I don't know.
I think the point is, if you're posting to motivate people, then that means that most likely they're not going to probably be the right coaches when they join your team, because they're getting their motivation from you, which is like external to them. But if you're posting to people that are already motivated, then long term, those are going to be the people that are going to be your tribe, that are going to be more successful as coaches. And obviously, we know retail is cool. It's good to have a retail business. It's nice to have that income, but it's basically, you're going to be spinning your wheels, working really, really hard for income, but eventually you're going to tire out and you're just going to fizzle out. So it's duplicating and building a team that's going to ultimately lead to you having that, where you're having fun with your tribe, and, you want to see them, and you're building a residual income, which is ultimately why we're here. So I think that's more what she meant.
Yeah, I agree.
You explained it.
Relating it to like the newer coaches, though, like.
Well, the way Marissa, you just explained it, the way I heard it is like there's different types of posts. Like you can post for retail or post for coaching. Like if you're posting for retail, you're motivating people. But if you're posting for coaches, you're posting like I don't know. That's kind of how I heard it. Maybe that's not what you were saying.
When you're posting to coaches and customers, like when you're posting to a customer, you're long term. If you're looking at long term and you want that person to be part of your tribe, then you're looking at the vision of, is this person going to end up being someone who's going to be working well with me as a successful coach? Because otherwise, it's cool to have a retail business, but it's almost like you're going to end up spinning your wheels. So why would you want to have a high retail business and not have people that you see being with you in a long-term vision and turning into a coach? So when you're posting to your clients or customers, you're posting to coaches as well. It's the same thing.
Yeah, and that's how I treat mine too. I don't have like retail posts versus coaching posts, if that's what you mean, Stephanie.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm trying to understand how she was explaining it. Like I'm just posting how I post, but yeah, I was just trying to understand what the difference in the style is and what you guys are both saying. So I guess I'm still not getting it.
From what I read, from what Christina posted, it was all about finding coaches It was about building a team. It was about, like, you know how you build a team? You find motivated people. You don't try to motivate people, you find motivated people. So posting on your page to motivate people means that you're just going to basically be always, they're going to be externally motivated by you. But if you find motivated people, like Sarah was a collegiate athlete, you know, and she's a very successful coach because she was already motivated. You know, her coach didn't have to motivate her. She didn't have someone who even knew how to build the business, but she was motivated and she did it herself. So if you're the source of their motivation, that's a lot of energy to be putting on yourself. And you're going to spin out and you're going to spin your wheels, and maybe you will have a high retail business, and maybe you'll get a lot of external gratification because you have a lot of people coming to you. But at the end of the day, you won't build a team and a tribe and a residual income and have those relationships that are like, oh my gosh, this is my bestie. We're together on the trips together. And then having it go on to be a team where it's a large residual income.
Mm-hmm. Well, and my example stemmed from the personal development. Like, is your, are the people that are following you as driven and as excited as you? And so I took it, and like she's saying, you know, through your posts, like, for example, when I first got into this, I'm a military spouse. I didn't mention that my husband's an officer in the Coast Guard. He flies helicopters, and we move around a lot. So when I first got started in this, I was promoting, if you will, sharing to military groups that I was in. I didn't know better. And I was getting a ton of discount coaches because they wanted to do this. They wanted to be a part of it, but they didn't want to spend the money. And they didn't understand that it cost money and that you had to invest money, and they wanted that quick fix, and they didn't have a lot of money to spend. And I'm not dogging any military spouses or the military, but that's just, at least where in the community that I was in, that's what was around me, and that's what I was attracting. And I didn't like it because, like she said, they weren't business builders. They weren't investing in it. They weren't my tribe. And so I had to readjust, like, who I was talking to and where I was talking and how I was, you know, laying it out there, like maybe talking up front about, hey, this is an investment, but here's why, or whatever. So so maybe that's a better example for you. I don't know. But so I had to shift gears in my recruiting and my story sharing and talk about more of my collegiate days, that treat it more like, this isn't an easy, you know, 21-day fix wasn't even out then. While it's at-home workouts, it's not easy. And while it's a job you can do at home, it's hard. It's a lot of hard work, because the way I was promoting it to them, I was calling it this easy gig that you could just pick up and do. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. I don't know if that helped. Sorry, Steph.
Bonnie Engel does a good job of, you know, not that I'm recommending following a lot of people, because I think it can be very distracting, but she does a good job of posting, like, this is a lot of hard work. Every time she posts about the coaching opportunity, it's all about that it's hard work and it took sacrifice, but look at where she is compared to where she was. And so
look at what that attracts. Like, when you tell people it's hard work and then people still comment on your stuff, like, tell me more, then it's going to attract people that don't mind the hard work. You know, they don't mind to get their fingers and toes wet.
And Lindsay Matway is like, this train is moving. Like, are you getting on or are you getting off? You know, like, we're still moving whether you come on or you don't. Like, they have a specific way of posting that's different. I haven't mastered it. So
those examples actually help. Like, just talking about those little, like, tweaks, that actually helps. That helped me to better understand it. So thank you.
Which tweaks?
Well, just talking about, like, you know, because I do share about that stuff. Like, this is hard work. Like, I want to quit. Like, this is hard. Like, and in some of my live posts, you know, I'm sharing, like, my leg feels like it's about to fall off. This is where I just want to literally give up, but I want to see change. So I'm going to keep going. Like, talking that way versus, you know, like, for 3 weeks, you can do anything for 3 weeks. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And for me, I mean, that stems from being a college athlete too. Like, I want other college athletes on my team because I feel like they get it. They enjoy the hard workouts and they're hard workers and they don't give up and they like competition. Like, that's what I want. So that's what I'm going to tell people. I do Insanity Max 30 and I go for the full 30 minutes, and then I show that through my videos that I am dripping in sweat, it's hard workouts. Like they're seeing that. So that's what I mean when I'm saying attracting your tribe. Like that's how I mean putting it out there. Like what do you want? And so you have to think about, with building a business, building coaches, like maybe it's corporate. You came from corporate America, and that's what, like, I know you, Marissa, you came from corporate America, and so maybe that's what you're trying to attract. I got you.
For me, it's about the freedom. Like for me, it was being, chained to the 9 to 5, being in the operating room. It's like healthy lifestyle for healthcare professionals is really what my niche is, and I attract a lot of like CRNAs and nurses on Instagram. And because I look up those hashtags and I like people's photos and, then they're like, oh, I have like Marissa Myers _fit CRNA as my like, Instagram handle. And so I post a lot about being a CRNA, and I do it in different ways. Like, hey, here I am spending time with my animals instead of being in the operating room. Here I am taking a walk instead of being in the operating room. Like different things that, and I do mention that it's hard work, like that I had to sacrifice, and I had to, and in my videos, I talk about like on the weekends I had a partner and I didn't get to go do fun things with him because I was sacrificing for this business, and so I think I'm good at that. I think that I don't share it enough is my problem. Like, I don't share it enough.
I don't think any of us do. And I call myself out. I call my girls out all the time. Like nobody, if you go look at top coaches, whoever is in the top 10 right now, Melanie Mitro, Raina Odell, all those girls, they talk about coaching like every day. Like,
all day, every day.
Yeah. And it's not like a call to action post, but it's about the job, whether it's I'm mom bossing hard today or blah, blah, blah. So I've tried to do that more, but they're talking about it every day. And
I know,
that's
every day. Every day. Seriously, every day.
Every day. So yeah.
So if you want to attract business builders, you have to be posting about the business and what it's done for you. And I know that that's not natural for you, Stephanie, but what ultimately you doing right now with like the fitness post, and you're going to have a high retail business. But when you start posting more, somehow tweaking that in there, and it can still be about fitness, but it has to be tweaking that in there. And maybe you can find someone who's a super crazy fit Beachbody coach that you can follow and see how they're doing that tiny little adjustment to it to get the coaching opportunity in there. Your business would just grow exponentially. Because right now you have a high retail business, but not much residual income with volume.
Yeah. And it's not natural for me. Like I don't really enjoy talking about, but I don't enjoy the business side of it. So I struggle to enjoy that, which is why I don't talk about it. Like I love the fitness side, and
you're good at that.
I think part of it is the story I'm telling myself in my head. It's like, this is the story I said before I got into Beachbody. I was like, I'm going to be awesome at this, but I'm going to struggle with the business side. So it's like, I got to stop telling myself that story. I just said that to, I think, Kathleen the other day, my success partner. Like, I know I'm telling myself that story, and that's blocking me because I don't enjoy the business side at all.
And that's because you're not good at it. Like, you don't feel like you're good at it. It's not that you're not good at it, but you don't feel like you are. So who wants to do something that they feel like they're not good at? Mm-hmm. Like, if you're going and you're doing something and you're like, man, this makes me feel like this big, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to go and play a sport that I suck at. Because I don't want to lose.
I like training, but it's like, I don't like running. Like, I love sharing in Jesse's training, but it's like running a team just isn't my strength. But like talking to the masses seems to be more my comfort.
Because you feel safe there. That's like a safety place. Like you're high up. You're an expert. People look up to you. You're in a winning position. And then with, whatever it is in your head, there's something about you not being in the position of the business building that you want to be. So it deters you from that. That's what I feel. And I'm saying this to everyone because that's probably why I don't post enough about coaching opportunity, because I still feel like that's the area. Of course, the duplication and the leadership is the area that I struggle with. And like, it's about leadership. And I've gone through this thing in my head where I'm like, I need to start posting about leadership all the time. And I'm like, but I don't feel like a good leader. So how can I do that? But I read these leadership books and I listen to these leadership things, and it doesn't come naturally to me. So it's like when I get over that and I get outside of my comfort zone and I start feeling comfortable there, that's when my business is going to grow. That's where I'm at. Everybody's at a different stuck point in their business, and it's just getting yourself uncomfortable to get past that stuck point. It's not rocket science. I think it's an easy business, but it's hard to keep getting into those uncomfortable places, and it's the self-esteem. That's the biggest thing that comes up in this business, I think, for everyone is the self-esteem. It tests your self-esteem every single day.
Yeah, and the comparison game too. I feel like a lot of people fall into that comparison trap, which holds them back, which becomes mindset and self-esteem.
It's all about self-esteem, and we all have low self-esteem, we all have insecurities, and we all find the place that we feel good and we feel comfortable because it makes us feel like we're good enough, and we stay there until we finally get sick and tired of being in that place, and then we go outside of that comfort zone and we expand another step, and then we get comfortable there, and then we expand another step and we get comfortable there. So it doesn't have to be all or nothing. It can be step by step. It could be like, all right, I'm going to do 2 to 3 posts a week, where I tweak something and get the coaching opportunity in there. And then eventually you'll just start doing it more. It'll just become natural to you. So ramping it up and setting a goal for yourself that's comfortable for you now, and then it will become more natural. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over the call.
No, I love it. I love it. I'm like, preach.
I love your presentation. It's something that I needed to hear. I know, I was talking to my mentor today and just sharing this with you guys. Kevin and Milan Jensen are the Team Genesis. They're the number 1 coaches. They first coaches in the network, and they're kind of my up 3 levels up from me. But Kevin has kind of taken over mentorship for me, and I'm I think I need to rebrand myself, and I think I need to maybe hire a branding consultant, to kind of discuss and brainstorm and figure out okay, which direction do I want to go? Because I feel like the fitness was a big part for me, and I'm kind of going away from the fitness a little bit. I'm doing more walking outside and being in nature and taking care of doing a lot of DIY projects and mowing my lawn, and that's kind of my fitness right now. So I'm thinking about going more in the direction of personal development and entrepreneurship and leadership, and that being more because that, and then of course my pets and DIY projects. That's my branding now. And he was just you need to really focus on the healthy living for the healthcare professional. That's you. I'm what I was drawn to, of course, was the fitness first, but what I was drawn to about the business was the idea of being able to be free from your 9 to 5. So for me, that's what the majority of times, that's what I'm posting about, being free from the 9 to 5. So I really liked your presentation because I know that I recognize in that I don't post enough, and I still need to get more clear on my avatar.
Good. I'm glad it helped. I think we're all in that boat. I'm going through it, tonight. I'm yep, there's always fine tuning. There's always things that you can.
Yeah.
And do better.
I think your organization, the Dwyer organization, having those whatever trainings you guys get for social media, you all come out with a really strong social media presence. And we don't have that on our team.
Honestly, that was not Christine Dwyer.
Oh, who was it?
No, that I took a Mari Smith training. Mari Smith's my girl, my Facebook girl. As far as social media stuff.
Okay.
I've heard a lot about the Jesse Reagan guy though, but I have not used him. So
a lot of us, I did that, and a lot of us have gone through it, and that's what Stephanie went through that allowed her that viral video. So it's just the Jesse Reagan is, you have to have a lot of time to invest in it, and some people get lucky and have a viral video, and that, and then as long as you're posting good content and continuing to add value, then you can make your page explode. But what I've seen a lot of people go through that training and try to apply it and not be able to find what they're trying to do. Yeah, it's not working out. So it doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah. Well, I can honestly say for me that, I was talking about at the very beginning, the 4 vitals, that consistency, literally consistency is just showing up every day and just telling a story, just every single day consistency. And I know that's easier said than done. And there's probably more I could expand on with like what I do within that consistency. And I can, like I said, talk about that on another call with like my day-to-day stuff, like what I'm doing. But it really is just showing up every day. I have so many coaches that are toe dippers and in and out and forget to post and, just post to post instead of posting, to tell a story or to have some value added, that if they could just clean that up and tighten it up, that it would definitely take them to the next level. So
I think for me, a lot of times I'm like, I spend so much time inviting that by the end of the day, I'm like, I'm so exhausted and I don't plan my posts out. So then I'm like, I just don't have the energy to create like an amazing post right now. So then I just go days by days by with no good posts on my page.
Yep.
So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
I recognize my failures or whatever. I recognize my weakness, but I haven't been able to change it. And it's been there for a while. So no judgment. Anyway, I really appreciate you hopping on here. Thanks so much for sharing your time. And if anybody has questions, I'm sure I can get, reach out to Sarah for you, or, if you're open to them reaching out to you, then yeah.
For sure.
And
thanks for having me.
Yeah. Have an awesome night.
Thanks. Bye, y'all.